January 26, 1945, Holtzwihr, France. Temperature minus 14 degrees Fahrenheit. A 19-year-old kid from Texas is standing on top of a burning tank destroyer, alone, calling in artillery strikes on his own position. The Germans are 10 meters away. He can smell them. He stays on that tank for 67 minutes. He kills 240 enemy soldiers by himself. His name is Audie Murphy, and almost nobody knows what happened to him after the war.
Audie Leon Murphy was born June 20th, 1924, in Kingston, Texas, the seventh of 12 children. His father was a sharecropper who walked out when Audie was a kid. His mother died of exhaustion in 1941. He was 16. He became the head of a household of 9. When Pearl Harbor happened, he tried to enlist in every branch of the military. Every single one rejected him. Too short, too young, too underweight. His sister forged his birth certificate, added a year. The Army took him. He weighed 112 pounds. What happened next is the kind of thing that doesn't seem real. North Africa, Sicily, Italy, southern France, the Vosges Mountains, the Rhine. By the time Audie Murphy was done, he had fought in 9 major campaigns across 3 countries. He had been wounded 3 times, and he had earned every major combat award the United States had to offer, including the Medal of Honor. But that's not the story I want to tell you today. The story I want to tell you is what the Army did with him after they were done with. January 26, 1945, Company B, 15th Infantry Regiment, 3rd Infantry Division. The Germans launched a counterattack with 6 tanks and 250 infantry soldiers. Audie Murphy's company had 19 men left. He ordered his men to fall back into the woods. He stayed. He climbed onto a burning M10 tank destroyer, a vehicle that could explode at any second, and got behind the .50 caliber machine gun. He called in artillery on his own position. He told them to fire on my smoke. That means bring the shells close enough that he could mark them himself. For 67 minutes, through smoke, flame, and constant fire, he held that position. When his men came back to get him, they thought he was dead. He had been hit in the leg. He was standing in a pool of his own blood. His only comment? I was just doing my job. On June 2nd, 1945, Audie Murphy stood before General Alexander Patch and received the Medal of Honor. He was 20 years old. The most decorated American combat soldier in the entire history of World War II. 33 medals, including the Medal of Honor, 3 Purple Hearts, the Distinguished Service Cross, and the French Legion of Honor. Life magazine put him on the cover. America called him a hero. And then, they sent him home. Audie Murphy came home to a country that loved the idea of him. He couldn't sleep. He kept a loaded pistol under his pillow. He slept with the lights on. He became a movie star. He starred in 44 films, including To Hell and Back, where he played himself. It was Universal Studios' highest-grossing film for over a decade. But behind the cameras, he was unraveling. He suffered from what we now call PTSD, but in 1950, the Army called it being weak. He was addicted to sleeping pills. He gambled compulsively. His marriage fell apart. He went public about his mental health struggles in 1971, one of the first veterans of his stature to do so. He told the world the war had never stopped for him. 3 months later, on May 28, 1971, Audie Murphy was killed in a plane crash in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. He was 45 years old. He was buried at Arlington Cemetery with full military honors, in a grave that, at his request, has no special markings. He wanted to be equal to every other soldier there. Here's what I want you to take from this. Audie Murphy wasn't just a war hero. He was a preview of a conversation America wasn't ready to have. He said, publicly, that the men who came home from war were coming home broken, that the country was celebrating their sacrifice while ignoring their suffering. That was 1971. We're still having that conversation today. The most decorated soldier in American history died poor, in debt, with a gun under his pillow, and most people can't tell you his name. That's the real Audie Murphy story, and you deserved to hear it. If this is the kind of history you want to understand, not just the battles, but the cost, hit subscribe. War Decoded goes deeper than the highlights. Every episode, we find the story behind the story. New episodes every week. I'll see you in the next one.